I'm Erin Broadley for SuicideGirls.com, and I'm here at the legendary rock and roll hangout Canter's Deli with Slash and Marc Canter. Marc Canter owns the place, and he's also a photographer who has a new book out, Reckless Road, Guns N' Roses, and the Making of Appetite for Destruction. So that's what we're going to talk about here today in kind of compiling all this history that you put into this book, the photos, the audio, and the video that's available like in the enhanced books portion. One thing you said is that your goal here is to let everybody that likes this band, or even if you don't like the band, see the making of one of the greatest records of all time.
Yeah, that's, I was lucky enough to be there and document it, and I did it as if I wanted somebody to do it for me. If that's what I would ask for somebody else to do for one of my favorite bands. And actually, they were one of my favorite bands, but they were also my friends, so I had that opportunity to capture it. But I'm glad that I was able to do that.
On Slash, you said that there's no better person than Marc to have been able to put all this together and to put it out there.
He was the proverbial fly on the wall, So
in the best sense?
everybody was, no one was really paying attention, and he was, we were really good friends, and he fit in with everybody, and it was just like no one was really, acting or being, conscious of a camera being around or any of that kind of stuff. And so that's probably what makes the book so good, because it's so candid. It was more like we were the only 5 guys in LA that could have made up that particular band. And we just happened to come together because that was sort of fate. If something was supposed to happen with it, and we just sort of, me meeting Duff fresh from Seattle at the time that I met him was very sort of like, something's got to happen with this. The same thing with Axl and Izzy and I when we first hooked up. It's like we kept getting drawn together. There was nobody else really in LA for me to form a permanent bond with, musician-wise. It's just that it had to be that way.
Well, actually, there was an almost Guns N' Roses before Guns N' Roses in Hollywood Rose, and you had Slash, Axl, and Steven, and you had this guy Steve Darrell on bass, but the missing figure was Izzy and Steve Adler's double bass drums. When they came back a year later to try again, this time Steven had one bass drum, and they had Izzy.
We hid it from him. He went to the bathroom, and I think Izzy and Duff
stashed
took
it
it
in
and
the
stashed
storage
it.
closet.
He came back. He didn't even realize something was missing.
Izzy musically was like right in between Slash and Duff. Duff was like the punk rock, and Slash was like blues and hard rock, and Izzy was like like Rolling Stone figure, or Hanoi Rocks type, and he fit right in the middle. And his songwriting added, or he would start something and Duff and Slash would jump on it and change what he added and mold it all into what became Appetite for Destruction.
There's all these incarnations of what ended up being Guns, and it's like we kept just getting thrown back into the pot together until finally that particular version came out, and it's the band that worked.
Also, there wasn't much loyalty. You jam with the band for 3-4 months and you're gone. You get in a fight and you broke up, that's it. But I think when they went to Seattle and they made it through that hitchhiking and eating onions on the road or whatever they did.
Eating onions off the side of I-5 in Bakersfield.
By the time they came back, it was more than just we're 5 musicians that fit. We're now like this gang.
You've been thrown into those kind of situations with any group of people that you didn't feel that kind of camaraderie with, then you wouldn't feel comfortable and it wouldn't happen. But there was a sense of
the truck breaks down.
Oneness with the band that it was like us against everybody else, and we just sort of, that's how we rolled.
Well, if somebody screwed with one of them, like let's say they're hanging out
to deal with the whole band.
Yeah, that somebody would jump on their back. I mean, literally, somebody's swinging away at Izzy or whatever, and the next, Steven comes running over and jumps on their back, and then before you know it, Axl's kicking him in the side. It's just, you screw with one of us, you screw with all of us. And I just couldn't believe what I was seeing and hearing at the same time. And I knew right then and there that now they got it. They just need to play more gigs and get a bigger following. And if they, on this pace, they're going to make it. And before, like that was the first gig. They had some originals that Izzy and Axl had put together, but then Slash, the first song they wrote together for Guns N' Roses was Welcome to the Jungle. And that was a killer song.
Welcome to the jungle.